I hope you are hyped as I am. This is just amazing. Amazing graphics. Let's go. Welcome to my channel and the final video of my small series around AMS2. I actually have enjoyed a few races in AMS2 and want to give you a few impressions and also want to share my experience around the new updates for the tire model, but also amount of players I have recognized, as well as giving a quick conclusion about why I continue to race AMS2 in a regularly manner. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. Player count and races is one of the big topics in AMS2. As you can see here on the Sunday around 1 p.m., we have quite a few options that we can drive. So it's not about like it's empty and you're not able to do races. It's just not like that every 10 minutes you have 500 races available that you can join. So it's not empty. So the player base is existing, and as soon as you have a community and you join community races like I do, it is actually pretty crowded and it really makes fun. You can, whenever you're free to race whatever is available, you can race all the time, the whole day in normal public lobbies and can have fun there. Beside the normal LFM integration, where you get the really professional platform that is actually working already together with AMS2. So content-wise, we are looking into over 200 cars, and what you can see here in the overview, there is a quite high variety, and I can say from my experience, most of them actually drive pretty well and pretty realistic. Some of them are not designed in a very close to realistic manner, and it doesn't have the same feeling as if you would drive them now on iRacing or on ACC or in LMU. They are sometimes specified to a certain series. But if I'm comparing now my daily driver back in the days, the McLaren 720S, this is, for instance, a car that pretty good simulated. It drives in all simulations pretty much the same, and that's also the impression I have here from AMS2. There are some other cars like carts or these hypercars. I don't have any comparison. I can compare now the hypercars here because I'm driving them a lot in LMU. And again, it is from a driver perspective, from how the car in general feels like pretty much the same. For sure, physics and the way the cars are driving on the road and how they are feeling, there is definitely a difference I will come into later. Extremely high variety, very good simulated, and from my perspective, this is for the price that we are paying here. And you also know we have now super trophy trucks, which is amazing. It is a pretty good package that makes a lot of fun. And there is a lot of service and things going on where you can also drive like fun races with fun cars. It's not just super serious racing as you have it, for instance, in iRacing or LMU. Going back, you also see the tracks. So we have over 60 locations. That's important. And every location has different layouts. Like the Nürburgring, I just opened that now. So you have the Nordschleife, you have the normal Grand Prix track, etc., etc., which is then having a lot of variety that you can drive here. And there are also a lot of historic tracks you can drive around, like the historic Spielberg, for instance, etc., which is, from my perspective, also a pretty good. package with a lot of variety. So you can just, you know, spend your whole day here in AMS2 and you will not reach every track here or every track layout. It's actually made for enjoying and then experiencing this lot of variety. Now we are jumping over to the racing itself. How does the car feel and what have been my impression while my last races? Patsch. Zum Glück kein Schaden. Boah, shit. Das hätte nicht sollen sein. First of all, sorry for the unsafe rejoin within that community race. Nevertheless, my first experience was that with the first races, the car was still pretty slippy, so you still can drive stronger in a limit, but you can still control the car. I think it's more sensitive now in Lima Ultimate. iRacing is very extreme. Lima Ultimate has become now closer to iRacing. There was a lot of tolerance before the last patch. AMS2 also has done now a step closer to less tolerance in slipping, in, you know, being able to overdrive a car, which is, I guess, from my perspective, a very positive direction, because in the past it was very drifty. You have been able to drift a lot. The grass itself is extreme. That's what my impression was. As soon as you are touching the grass, the car is gone. It is close to, I would say, iRacing. iRacing is the same thing. You're touching the grass, you're gone. And you've seen in the video before, this was exactly what has happened. You actually crash into the wall without any like buffer, yeah? So it doesn't slow down or something. You're directly into the wall. And this is also another experience I made, is the damage to the car was not as severe as I would have expected, because the crash was pretty hard, right? I actually received more damage when I had an unsafe rejoin and someone else crashed into me. I think there was more damage, from my impression, than hitting the wall. That's just something, I guess, physics-wise, which is not exactly correct as for my impression, right? Let's check out the next clip that we have. Also grundsätzlich so Stabilität des Fahrzeuges ist ein bisschen sensibler geworden. Es kommt jetzt immer näher einer Simulation, ne? Sieht man auch. Also die gleichen Fehler, die ich bei LMU mache, kann ich hier jetzt auch machen. As recognized already in the video itself, that we are closer to a simulation that was actually, while I'm streaming, my feeling while I'm driving. I also had the situation, as you see it in the video, that I lost the rear simply because I've overdriven the car. I think in the past, when I had some races in AMS2 with the McLaren, it was way more stable. You don't have to be like that precise in the parse and cornering and using the brake, accelerate in the right timing, etc., etc. And that's what I said, right? It's closer to a simulation. We are less overdriving the car, and we need to drive close over rounds to the limit of the cars, which is at the end of the day the type of simulation we want. So actually, because it challenges us to learn the car, to learn the track, and to learn what really the limit is. And practicing is, at the end of the day, making all of these mistakes that you see here in this video, so that you know, okay, the next time when I'm cornering here, I have to behave a little bit different with that specific car. to make sure that I get the best time, the best data out of this race. Let's check the next one. Ah, dann muss das hier noch passieren. Oh nein. Ah. Boah, der Wagen ist kaputt, aber damit müssen wir jetzt durchfahren. Nein. As mentioned already, driving close to the limit is a big challenge, with a bigger challenge now with AMS2. That was after 30 minutes in Bathurst, and you see that I lost the rear, and then I crashed into the wall, and then I had a damage. With the damage, I don't have a rear ring, and you directly have an impact on the drivability of the car. It was directly very unstable again on the back, simply because we don't have a rear wing. So simulation wise, and from that perspective, you see as well, it has impact to the drivability of the car. The damage was very noticeable, and this actually is also a good direction for a simulation. I want to show you now in the last few seconds of the video an impression about the transition from day to night, and then you can actually get an impression about how it feels when driving and also experiencing it while being in VR, until we then head over to the conclusion. Ja, aber sobald dann hier die... Boah, irgendwas passiert hier auch wieder. Ja. Glück gehabt, würde ich sagen. Da ist gerade ein Auto rumgeflogen. Keine Ahnung, was das da gemacht hat. Ob das ein Bug war oder so, weiß ich nicht. Aber wir sind auf P6. As a highlight of the final race, you could have also seen the impressive situation that we have very often now in the starting sequence. This is not specific to Automobilista 2, but also all other simulations which are right now simulating very well cold tires. We have seen this perfectly now also in that race. A lot of crashes in the first corner simply because racers don't estimate properly the grip level whenever you have cold tires in the first corner. In LMU, you have something like tire warmers, yes, no, which has an impact to that. Here, it's very slippery in the first few corners. And this is also at the end, my conclusion. We have seen a lot of information now about AMS2. How does it drive? How it reacts to damage? How slippery, how close to the limit you can drive until you overdrive it. And what is the general amount of sheer content that we are getting with that simulation. So also now with the Steam discounts, you get a massive package, right? I would actually prefer go somewhere, search for community. You can also join my Discord, then have a few community races. They are super, super funny. You have a lot of races. At the end of the day, a lot of variety and a very great experience in VR. And this is also the one thing that I want to mention. It's top notch, right? LMU is also in VR, extremely playable, looks extremely good, but AMS2 is still the top notch simulation when it comes to VR gaming and racing. Um, Still, again, it's not just about VR, it's about the full package, which is amazing, which is really funny, which really makes fun. I for sure have my main sim that is Lima Ultimate. I continuously also race here in the ACC. I do community races in AMS2 and fun races, and this is the kind of way I'm working with the simulation set out there, which I enjoy the most. So drop me a thumbs up if you like the video. I like to share my perspectives of the different simulations or the races that I have. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you soon.